What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video I want to talk about Hunter Legendaries for a minute, and more specifically, Beastmaster Hunter Legendaries. There's a lot of speculation that goes around which two Legendaries are the ones you should aim for using, and I have to say, Blizzard actually did a pretty good job at equalizing the Beastmaster DPS Legendaries to be pretty even. The four best ones I'm going to talk about are the Chest, Parcel's Tongue, which increases the damage you and your pet deal by 1% and your leech by 2% every time you cast Cobra Shot, and that stacks up to 4 times. So at 4 stacks, that's 4% increased damage by you and your pet, and then the 8% leech. Then there are the Shoulders, the Mantle of Command, which increases damage by your pets by 5% for 8 seconds every time you Dire Frenzy or Dire Beast. Now this does not stack. That's very important, because Dire Frenzy and Dire Beast both have 2 charges, and you have a chance to get another charge every time you crit with an auto shot. Now, if this did stack, it would probably be the best legendary, but it doesn't. For the third legendary, we're going to be talking about the Belt, Roar of the Seven Lions, which reduces the focus cost of all your abilities by 15% while Bestial Wrath is active. And last, but certainly not least, one of the rings, which is Soul of the Huntmaster, which as a Beastmaster Hunter, it gives you the Bestial Fury talent. So for my many personal tests, and then of course simming my character multiple times, these are the 4 best legendaries to go with. But you can only equip 2 at the time of making this video. Not sure when they'll allow a 3rd slot, if they even ever do that. But these 4 legendaries are pretty equal, and the factors that go into determining which 2 to use really have to do with what non-legendary piece of gear you have there. So first things first, tier pieces. If you only have 4 tier pieces, you'll definitely want your 4-piece, and then fill in whichever 2 of those 4 legendaries that won't break your 4-piece. So the tier pieces do take that sort of priority, which kind of allows the ring and the belt to be a safe option since those can't be tier pieces. Now the same thing pretty much applies if you have 2 or 3 pieces of tier. You want to make sure you have your 2-piece. The 3rd piece of tier doesn't matter, it's not going to give you a bonus, but of course hold on to it. And then just fill in 2 of those 4 legendaries. Now which 2 of those legendaries should you use? Now what I'm about to say also applies if you have the 4-piece. It really depends on what non-legendary, non-tier piece of gear you have for that slot, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, so let me give you an example. This is my character, right here. He's got the 4-piece, in fact he does have all 6 tier pieces, with 2 of which are actually normal tier, so I'm not going to mess around with those, which kind of sucks because both those normal pieces of tier give him mastery. But anyways, you also notice he's wearing the legendary belt and the Huntmaster ring. Now the tier pieces he's wearing are the chest, cape, gloves, and legs. So that already locks me out of wearing the legendary chest. Now my shoulders are item level 935. I got them from Mythic Plus, they give mastery, crit, and speed. They're pretty dang good. Whereas my non-legendary ring and belt are like 920-ish. So they're not as good as the 935 shoulders. Therefore, I go with the belt and the ring legendary. Now when trying to determine something like that, which non-tier, non-legendary pieces are better, item levels usually trump all, unless it's a ring, neck, or trinket. Because rings and necks don't give main stats, and trinkets, have their own little effect. For the rings and necks, make sure you go for whatever is your best secondary stats. As a Beastmaster Hunter, I go for mastery. It really depends on who you ask, whether crit or haste is better. But personally, I would just go for whichever piece of gear gives more mastery. Like for example, if you're a hunter that wants to go for, let's say, mastery and haste, which is good. I'd probably say mastery and haste is better than mastery and crit. But you have one neck that gives 1000 mastery and 500 crit versus another neck that, let's say, gives 800 mastery and 600 haste. I would still go with the 1000 mastery, 500 crit one because the more mastery. Yeah. Now anyways, the reason that item level usually triumphs overall is because a patch earlier, I think it may have been 7.1.5, it possibly was sooner, Blizzard decreased the value percentage of secondary stats for everyone and made their main stats worth more. But back on topic to legendaries, if you do decide to equip the Huntmaster ring, make sure you don't spec into Bestial Fury or else you're just wasting that legendary's effect, and spec into one with the pack. I've said this once, and I'll say it again, Blink Strike sucks, and it's always sucked ever since they've implemented it. Now, if nothing I've said in this video has made sense to you, well, you can forget everything I've said then, and download this add-on called Sim Permute. Now, if you downloaded that, in-game you can type /Sim Permute. It will show you a list of all the gear you currently have on and the gear that's in your bags. The ones that are checked are what you currently have equipped, and those that are not are just sitting in your bags. You can then select up to, I think, 22 items, it's something like that. And then at the bottom, for enchant neck, you can put whichever enchant you like. I use Trained Soldier because it gives mastery, then agility back enchant, then mastery ring enchant, and finally for gem, you can put 150 or 200 mastery gem, whichever you currently have access to. Then click the checkbox that says was replace current gear, enchants, and gems. Now that section was mainly for anything new you selected that could possibly be enchanted or gemmed, and you're wanting to simulate it with that enchant or gem already in it. And then for report type, I like to switch it to item names because the text generated makes more sense. Then you can click generate and it'll generate a bunch of text to the right. Now you want to copy this text, go to raidbots.com, click advanced at the bottom, paste all the text into that input field, and then at the bottom for simulate options, pick at least 10,000 iterations. I always pick patchwork styles fights, which as it says no movement or single targets, but honestly for me, a fight that requires a lot of movement never really negatively impacts my DPS. One boss, 5-minute fight length, then you want to click the nightly version. It's just better. Then at the bottom, hit run simulation. It will then put you into a 1 to 2 minute queue to get your results, or you can donate $5 to their Patreon and allow you to skip the queue. And then it will tell you your simulated DPS results. The line that says base is what you currently are wearing, or what you last wore when you logged out. It pulls that from your armory. And then all other lines are the different pieces of gear for you to wear to have roughly that DPS output it shows. Therefore, if the base DPS is the highest on the list, then you're good. No need to change any gear you currently have on, and that's really it. Those are the 4 best legendaries to go with. How to pick the better 2, or possibly the easier option of just simming your DPS. Now I did say in my last video that they are coming out with an item level 1000 trinkets in the next patch 7.3.5, and this trinket, all the stats that it gives are the secondary stats, and it has a chance to give you all the tertiary stats, so that's, speed, leech, all that sort of stuff. And then it has another effect which has a chance to give you quite a bit of agility if like 6 of the people in your group also have it, and that pops at the same time. I don't know how good that trinket is. It was hard for me to test, but that is a thing that's coming out in the near future. So I hope this video was helpful at all to you guys. If you guys have any hunter questions or want me to make a video going more in depth into hunters, I mean, I've been playing one for over 10 years, so I might know a thing or two about them. You can leave a like on this video if it was helpful at all to you. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.